What's going on, Buff Nation? Welcome back to another video. This show is brought to you by BetUS. Came down to the last play there, but the Buffs got it done. Buffs are 1-0. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Record book doesn't have the scoreboard on there. It just shows you 1-0 headed into week 2 in Nebraska. Let's roll the intro. Let's break this game down, give you thoughts and opinions about it. It's going to be a whirlwind till next Saturday, but buckle up.
I flushed my juice down in the club.
So they get it done, 31-26 against North Dakota State University. And again, I've been preaching this all offseason headed into this game. This North Dakota State game wasn't just going to be your typical FCS football game, okay? I didn't think they were going to just walk in here and just blow North Dakota State out of the water. I said they would cover. They were close. Broke my heart there at the end. I thought they were going to get it done and get the cover. It was up 31-20. Felt pretty good about it. But this North Dakota State team was everything I thought they would be and then some. Very disciplined, well executed on every single play. Really just kind of threw a lot of things at you and didn't make too many mistakes. I think it was a fantastic game one for Colorado. Kind of push them, a little bit, make them feel uncomfortable because I think, you got to believe that Colorado, these guys felt that, hey, this should be a W. No problemo. But there was at times where it's like North Dakota State felt never in control, but obviously we had a lead there for a little bit, but never felt the game was out of reach. What I loved seeing was the changes coming out of halftime. I was not impressed with the play calling on defense, especially offensively. I think they were clicking, almost scoring too fast, which wasn't helping on the defensive side. But it felt like not enough zone, a lot of man, just trying to see, hey, can the line get there? Let's trust our cornerback play, which I don't mind either. But we saw a massive turnover into the second half, again, even on offensively, right? Where I felt like Shedeur Sanders, the offense was clicking. They had one play, 80 yards for 17 plays. They were kind of in a little more of a rhythm or groove versus just, hey, let's just throw a 180-yard pass real quick and let's get off the field, bring defense back out here. That's going to be impactful going into the Big 12. You've got to really wear and tear your defense, the opposing defense down. Have a nice more of an ebb and flow and chemistry. Again, play calling just felt a little out of whack, especially defensively. But Robert Livingston, I believe, made a huge change that we didn't see a lot of last year. I felt like we didn't see these changes. So, look, game one, a lot of things have to go over and have to, make some adjustments. Coach Prime comes out in his presser, goes, look, I'm frustrated. Those times when you win, but you feel like you didn't win. That's kind of how it felt because, again, that number, that cover number, it's a Vegas number, right? But it's a gauge in your head in a way, and I'm sure they're not saying, hey, we should have won by 10 points. But I think we can all sit here and agree, like, yeah, the game should have looked a lot better. It should have had some cleaner areas, but overall, ultimately, you still won. Offensive line, some people are going to say that it was a poor performance. Personally, my expectations, I think it was right at or just a little bit above expectations, to be honest. I think Jordan Seaton looked exceptional at left tackle as a true freshman. Really happy to see how well he played. Felt like he had a lot of time. He only got one sack, knocked down a few times. But to be fair, when he's getting knocked down, these throws are going for 40, 50 yards. He had a pretty good amount of time to sit back there and sling it. Now, were there times where he was rolling out and rushing and running for his life? Absolutely. When they're in that 2-minute warning, the offense kind of gets going a little bit. O-line gets a little bit tired. But I think ultimately he had the most time that he's had in a very long time. Again, FCS, you could argue, is that going to translate in weeks to come? I don't know, but I think that the O-line will continue to click. What people will argue is, again, the lack of rushing. Coach Prime even said in his presser, he goes, look, you can only take what they can give you. And they were letting us run too much. So we'll see how the run game evolves. I still don't think the run game's going to come out here and go rush for 150 yards. I don't see it. They threw for over 445 yards, 76% completion rate, 4 touchdowns. I mean, my goodness, just absolutely slinging the football. So Travis Hunter, holy my goodness, that young man, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in the end of the year. 1, for just Heisman voting. 2, the NFL draft. I mean, the amount of talent that is on the wide receiver core, like I've said it all year long. I mean, you just get those guys the ball in open space, Jimmy Horn as well, and let them eat. But the times that they kind of got away from that, tried to do different things, which I think is good. But that's what's going to keep them in games and allow to look. Colorado, outside of the Oregon game, was never really out of the game. At no point did I feel like watching Colorado, the reason why it is so exciting is, hey, we've got Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter and Jimmy, just an arsenal of offense coming onto the football field that can move the ball at will, when they want to, at their own desire. They just got there and sling it. So that is the fun part to watch. Let's be frank here. When they punted that ball for the last second, I go, this is the worst place to be, 4th and 3. I'm like, man, I kind of feel like they should go for it because your best position, your best players on the football field right now, and defensively, they haven't shown to stop when we needed it. So they went down there, threw one out the end there, got it down to the 2. Obviously, there was no time left, but the play calling at the end, they were obviously questioning that. Should he have ran the ball, things like that. He talked about his presser where Shador wanted to get one to LeJontay to get him a big play because Jimmy and Travis absolutely ate. But Nebraska's going to be a good one. Got Nebraska next week against Matt Rule. That one is going to be a fun one to see how that shakes up. Again, another team that's going to be well coached, well disciplined, come in there and not make too many mistakes. True freshman at quarterback and Dylan Raiola. I think the young man from North Dakota State, can't think of his name at the moment, played exceptional. I don't think you get that same play out of Dylan Raiola. I really don't. Defensively, I think they may bring a little more pressure, but I don't think Dylan Raiola, that they were slicing and dicing. I don't think Dylan's going to do that like this young man was at North Dakota State. This guy's a 4-year senior, and the backup too was kind of a dog as well. So look, I think Dylan Raiola, 5-star quarterback, exceptional, going to be great in college football. But game 2, I don't think he's just going to walk up in there and slice and dice the football field like this happened today. So we will see. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, though, this show is brought to you by BetUS. We talked about spreads and overs and unders all week long. Final score was what, 31-26? What's my quick math here? That's 57, right? 31 plus 26, 57. I told you the under. I said the under before the show. I said I don't feel good about the over. I think Colorado scores north of 30, and I think I had North Dakota at 20. So I was pretty spot on with my thought there at the show right before the game started. But again, if you use the link in the description, ladies and gents, you get for your first 3 deposits 125% back up to $2,000 when you make that big time deposit. So use that link in the description. I missed the spread, but I was spot on the over under. The game slowed down tremendously on the second half. Very strange. It was 2017 going into halftime, and North Dakota State only scored 6 more in that second half, and Colorado scored 14, I believe. So game slowed down, but again, I think that was beneficial to Colorado. The game did start to slow down some more. Again, took, I think, 9 minutes, 17 plays, and 80 yards. Like that, when I saw that, I go, this is the Colorado that I don't feel we saw a lot of last year. A lot of people are going to say, hey, this team felt very familiar to last year's team. Yes, in a way that it did, because you still have Shador Sanders in this just arsenal of wide receivers. That offense is going to have that same tempo. Pat Schumer is still the offensive coordinator. Defensively, a lot more blitz were called. A lot more pressure was being brought in. A ton of intensity, which, again, I think allowed for things to break up and open up a little bit. And I thought that North Dakota State was taking advantage of that. So I would like to see how Livingston adjusts and makes those adjustments. But I think his professionalism allowed him to, move slightly and do things. They've got enough dogs in that D-line that I don't feel like they got enough pressure. And even Coach Prime said that in his presser. They got enough talent out there to get it done. I don't think they're capitalizing on that. So we'll be interesting to see how that kind of is talked about over the next week. But like I said with these wide receivers, my golly, 198 yards for Jimmy Horn Jr. Incredible night. And then Travis Hunter playing both sides of the ball. Let me get a sip here while you digest those numbers. 132 yards receiving. How many touchdowns did he have, boys? I got to pull it up here. 1 touchdown for Jimmy Horn, 3 touchdowns for Travis Hunter. The one being that's going to be talked about, it's going to be on ESPN, where he just reaches around the defender and just rips it out of him and off his hands or what have you. Just an impossible catch made possible by Travis Hunter. Absolutely incredible catch there. So that was all exciting to see. It was a fun, like I said, a blast to watch. And again, at 132, 3 touchdowns, and played cornerback. He's an absolute treat. And he's such a good kid, so humble, down to earth, and just loves playing football. He just loves playing football, and you saw that tonight. But look, I think it's good. They got a couple days here to see how this thing levels out. Let me know in the comments. What was your thoughts? Your overall opinion? If you had to give it a grade, where do you feel that the Buffs sit at? I'm sitting at offensively. I think they did well. I loved how the O-line functioned. Again, people would love to see more running. I don't think it called for until the end of the game there. I think I would have liked to see a little bit more of it. I want to say C plus B minus is kind of where my head's at. Again, I think defensively, I was very frustrated. I was really looking forward to seeing how they would do things. They had a couple big shutdowns, but I would like to see a little bit more. But again, ultimately, the W was there. We're being critical, and it's an easy place to be critical because you got the monkey off the back of that first game 1-0. And so, okay, cool. Buffs get it done. Now let's take a look and let's get home. It's not being negative. It's not trying to bring it down, but it's like, hey, I think we could sit here and justify and say, look, a lot of areas of improvement. But I think what's important to note is that we did see an adjustment in the second half. And if there's able to make some adjustments and kind of have some clicking going on, we'll see some more chemistry build over the next few weeks. Again, Nebraska's going to be another big game, another tough game that they got to go against the Huskers. But an advantage here is Dylan Raiola, I think, get to that rookie quarterback very early on, and you can see how that thing plays out. It's going to be a huge advantage. But that is first game one reaction. Again, let me know in the comment sections how you felt. I'm sure everyone has an opinion about it. Ultimately, all that really matters at the end is a W. How you got there sometimes. Old saying goes, Pops always said, them tires ain't pretty, but they work. So they may not be the shiniest, prettiest, cleanest tires out there, boys, but they get you from A to B. And tonight, they got you from A to B, and that's all that matters. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. Smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.